If you've got a SaaS idea, but no clue how to actually get to first revenue, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I took an idea from zero to paying users. No funding, no team, no wasted time. You'll see the full playbook I used, how I picked the niche, how I built the MVP, and how I launched fast enough to start learning. Before most founders even finish their landing page, if you want to avoid the biggest mistakes that stall most early founders, stick around. Let's get into it. The first step, and this is where most founders already go wrong, it's picking what to build. Here's usually what happens. Someone has an idea that they think is cool. Maybe they saw a trending technology, or they thought of something that would be fun to build, and they spend months building it before ever checking whether or not anyone actually wants it. Don't do that. Instead, look for urgent problems, not interesting ideas. Urgent problems, the kind of problems that people are already spending money to solve, even if the current solutions are terrible. And you can actually use AI to speed this up dramatically. Use AI to research markets, to analyze competitor reviews, to filter and validate pain points at scale. It's like having a research team working for you 24/7. The other thing I'd emphasize is this: narrow your audience. A lot of founders think they need a huge market to build a successful product, but the opposite is true, at least in the beginning. A narrow audience means faster traction. It means you can speak directly to a specific person's specific problem, and that specificity is what drives conversions. So before you build anything, answer this question: what problem are people already paying to solve? If you can find a painful, expensive problem in a clearly defined niche, you've got the foundation for a real business. So you found a real problem in a real niche. Now it's time to build. And this is where restraint becomes your superpower. Your MVP, your minimum viable product, should do one thing. Just one. Not 3 features, not a full platform. One core feature that solves the core pain. I know that's hard. You've got a vision, you can see the full product in your head, and it's tempting to try to build all of it right away. But that's a trap, because every additional feature you add before launch is another week of delay, another thing that can break, and another assumption that you haven't tested. The goal of the MVP is not to impress people. It's to prove value. Can this one feature solve this one problem well enough that someone's willing to pay for it? That's the only question that matters at this stage. Use AI tools to speed up your development. Whether it's code generation, UI design, copywriting, AI can compress weeks worth of work into days. But don't use that speed to build more. Use it to build faster and to get to users sooner. And once you have something, even if it's rough, put it in front of a bunch of people. Not a big launch, just one-on-one conversations. Show it to 5 people in your target audience and watch them use it. You'll learn more in those 5 sessions than you would in a month of building in isolation. Ask yourself, what's the smallest version of this product that can prove value? And build that, nothing more. This is the part where most founders stall. They've built something and it works, but they don't launch because it's not ready yet. Now let me tell you something, it's never gonna feel ready. The logo isn't perfect, the onboarding could be smoother, and there's that one bug you keep meaning to fix. I get it, but none of that matters if nobody's using your product. Skip the perfect branding, skip the long development cycles, and just get it out there. One of the best things that you can do is share your progress publicly. Build in public. Post updates on X, on LinkedIn, wherever your audience hangs out. Talk about what you're building, why you're building it, and what you're learning. This does 2 things. It attracts early users who are interested in the problem that you're solving, and it creates accountability that keeps you moving forward. When it's time for a more formal launch, platforms like Product Hunt, Indie Hackers, and relevant subreddits can give you a real boost of initial users. But don't treat the launch as just a single event. It's a process. You can launch multiple times to different audiences. The question to keep in the front of your mind is, how can you ship version 1 this week, not next month? That urgency is what separates founders who learn fast from founders who stay stuck. When you launch fast, you learn fast, and that feedback is more valuable than any feature you could build in isolation. But most SaaS founders stay stuck perfecting things instead of testing what matters. And that's why I built the AI SaaS Bootcamp. It gives you a clear, proven system to build, launch, and grow an AI-powered product without wasting time trying to figure it all out alone. The link is right at the top of the description. All right, your product is live. Now, the question is, how do you get people to actually use it when you have no brand, no audience, and no sales team? The answer is simpler than you think. You go to where your users already are and you start conversations. Cold outreach still works if you do it right. I'm not talking about spamming 1,000 people with a generic pitch. I'm talking about sending 10 thoughtful messages a day to people who have the exact problem your product solves. Personalized, specific, showing that you understand their world. Social proof matters a lot in in the early days. Even if you don't have much, a testimonial from one happy user, a screenshot of a real result, even a case study from your beta users. All of that builds credibility faster than any marketing campaign. But the real cheat code for early distribution? Leverage existing communities. Find the forums, the Slack groups, the Discord servers, and the subreddits where your target audience already hangs out. Don't go in there and pitch. Go in there and be genuinely helpful. Answer questions, share insights, and when it's relevant, mention what you're building. The key question is, who already hangs out where your users are? Find those communities, show up, add value, and the users will follow. You've got users. Some of them are engaged. Now it's time to turn that engagement into actual revenue. And this is where things get real. The first thing to understand is objections are gold. When a potential customer tells you why they're not ready to pay, listen carefully. Every objection is telling you exactly what your offer is missing. Maybe the value isn't clear enough. Maybe the price doesn't match the perceived outcome. Maybe there's a feature gap. Use those objections to shape and refine your offer. Keep your pricing simple and outcome focused. We talked about this earlier, but it bears repeating here because this is the stage where it matters the most. Don't overthink your pricing model. Charge for the result. Make it obvious what someone gets for their money. And here's a piece of advice that a lot of founders overlook in the early days. Follow up personally. Your first 10, 20, 50 customers, you should be talking to every single one of them. Send them a personal message. Hop on a quick call. Ask them what's working and what's not. That personal touch builds loyalty and gives you insights that no analytics dashboard can provide. Ask yourself, what would make your product a no-brainer purchase right now? If you can answer that question clearly, you're close to cracking your revenue model. Last section, and this is the one that separates founders who plateau from founders who scale. Once you have paying users, you have data, real data, and that data is telling you a story if you're willing to listen. Track what messaging leads to signups. Track what features lead to upgrades. Track what onboarding steps lead to retention. The patterns are there. Your job is to find them and double down on what's working. But here's the discipline part. Don't scale until you have repeatable success. I see founders all the time who get a handful of customers and immediately start thinking about growth hacking, paid ads, and hiring. Slow down. Make sure the thing that you're scaling actually works consistently. Can you reliably turn a lead into a paying customer? Can you retain that customer for more than 3 months? If yes, scale it. If not, keep iterating. AI is incredibly useful at this stage. You can use AI to analyze user behavior, to spot signals in your data that you'd miss manually, and to speed up your iteration cycles. Test a new onboarding flow on Monday, analyze the results on Friday, and ship the improved version the following week. That's the kind of speed that creates competitive advantage. And final question, what are your paying users telling you that your free users aren't? There's almost always a gap between what free users say they want and what paying users actually value. Find that gap. That's where your next big insight is hiding. Revenue doesn't come just from building more. It comes from solving more clearly. Every step you take should reduce friction, not add it. And every decision should be driven by what your users, your paying users, are actually telling you. But clarity alone isn't enough. You need the blueprint to be able to understand how to turn that momentum into full go-to-market plans. These are the kind of things that I talk about in my videos on this channel. So don't forget to click subscribe and don't miss out on my next video. We'll see you then.